the universe speaking to you. You are now tuned into the Modern Spiritual Life Coaching Podcast by the certified master life coach and spiritual guide, Coach Cchip. Welcome, souls. We now begin this episode of a transformational journey. Unedited, unscripted, and creating something from nothingness. Now, let there be light on Modern Spiritual Life Coaching.
You're listening to the Master Certified Life Coach on the Morning Gratitude Modern Spiritual Podcast.
Well, good morning, Monday. Step on with the Happy Mondays. Happy Monday streaming. I'm Alchemy Coach Cchip on this morning gratitude. Trying to get into the groove here. Got a lot of things coming up here. We're going to learn an ancient technique to making tough decisions with Greg Biden coming up here. Plus, we'll do our animal-guided meditation, which is a little different than our meditations. Plus, we'll do a chakra chant for our Sound Healing Meditation. And it's been a wild weekend for me, and I hope it's been a good weekend for you. Also, this morning, I'd like to mention that Coffee Trip number 42 on Twitter. You get on your Twitter and type in Coffee Trip 42. He's now following us. And if you follow us or retweet any of our stuff, we'll give you a shout out right here as well. So remember to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Wow, it's been an exciting morning trying to get up and back into the normal. A lot of people are trying to get back into the normal, but they don't realize that this virus is going to be part of us and with us. It ain't going away. So the best thing that we can do is not concentrate on it, but build our immune systems up. Change into a new normal, and after that, because we've been making changes here and doing the best that we can on this new change and just ride the wave. But it's a very interesting one. We got a lot of changes coming around here on this morning show as well. You're going to be hearing the difference of the sound with this. We're changing things over, getting a new app. I know I was going to tell you on Friday and then on Saturday, but we're definitely working on the app today. By Friday, we're going to have it released and we'll put it up on our website and you'll notify. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and get with us and follow us so you will know this information, because I can't mention all of this stuff here within 30 minutes. We might have to expand the show out, but drop in your comments in the chat. Tell us what you think, what improvements we need to make. But right now, we're going to get into the morning gratitude call-in show, because we skipped that because we were so busy. But now we're going to get into it right here on the morning gratitude show.
Now it's time for the morning gratitude call-in on the Modern Spiritual Podcast.
This is Sarah from California. My morning gratitude is going out to my sister Tricia, who lives in South Carolina. Thanks for being my big sister when I need you the most during this coronavirus pandemic. Be safe, and I will talk to you later tonight. Peace.
This is Pam from Oregon. My morning gratitude is belated Happy Father's Day. Dad, I love you. From your daughter Pam, Happy Father's Day.
I am Ashmil from Key West, Florida. My morning gratitude is being alive and well with my family. I also like to say what a great podcast. Thank you.
This is the old witch from the Beantown, Bostonian. I like to give a morning gratitude to you and everyone that we're going through this global pandemic together. We will get through it together with our faith. God bless.
If you like to get your morning gratitude call-in message on the Modern Spiritual Podcast, you can simply by doing so, go to modernspiritualpodcast.com or www.chipspodcast.com. Then click on the right-hand tab button that says Send Voice Message. Then record your message. Then tell all your friends to tune in. Send your gratitude message to anyone worldwide from the Morning Gratitude Show podcast. Only here on the Modern Spiritual Podcast, Morning Gratitude with Master Certified Alchemy Coach Cchip. Now back to you, Cchip.
Thank you. Hope you like the new sound and the new people we're bringing in behind this, to all make this podcast possible. Also, go to our websites that she just mentioned, chipspodcast.com or the Modern Spiritual Podcast, which we're moving things over to that new domain, modernspiritualpodcast.com. And that's going to be our new home and a whole lot of other things. I'm trying to still get up and waking up with this coffee in the morning. I have coconut coffee, which is pretty good. And it's got some honey and some ginger in it as well. But we're going to get into this right now so you can hear the ancient technique to making tough decisions right here on the Modern Spiritual Podcast.
1991, scientists made a discovery, headway, that really opened the door to this conversation. They discovered every human heart, 40,000 or so specialized cells configured in a way that creates a neural network in the heart. It's their brain-like cells, but they're not in the brain, they're in the heart. And it's actually called the little brain in the heart. What they found, what the scientists discovered, is that these cells think independently of the cranial brain. They feel and they remember. And what that means is every experience that we have, even this one right now, I'm registering this experience in two places. This is a good experience, so it's not a problem. I'm registering in my cranial mind as well as in my heart. But if we were having a trauma, it would still be registered in both places. And if I tried to heal that trauma only through thinking about it or talking about from my mind, it might feel incomplete. The healing may feel incomplete. And the reason is because I've only addressed what happened in here. I haven't addressed what happened in here. Now, we know this intuitively. I did an experiment a few years ago. Every culture I went to, and every age group, I asked little kids, I said, where are you sitting right now? Show me where you're sitting. And people say, I'm sitting right here. They say, right here. Or you ask the indigenous people, where do you live? Well, this is my home. And almost instinctively, we know that the heart is the seat of our existence, the seat of our being. You don't see them hitting their head, or their arm or something else. So when we talk about heart intelligence, what we're talking about is the ability for these neurons to communicate with the neurons in a way that is meaningful to those neurons. These neurons are linked to a wisdom, to an intelligence that is right for us. Mine is right for me, yours is right for you. And any question that you ask this intelligence, it will answer you in a way that will serve you in that moment. It'll never tell you to do anything dangerous or anything that would hurt anyone else. I'll give you a perfect example. I was in Australia over 9/11. Couldn't get back into my own country until the flights were flying again. And when they did fly, I was in Sydney, Australia, and there was a Boeing 747, that's a big plane, with fewer than 20 people that were going to come to the U.S. And there was, at the ticket counter, we were at the gate to board, and the agent said, there's so few people, we're not going to board by boarding rows. You can board this plane if you want to and go to America. And I said, well, you don't sound very encouraging. She says, I don't know what happened in that country. She says, but this plane's going to go there if you want to go there. I don't know if it's going to happen again. I don't know if it's over, but if you want to get on the plane, get on the plane. And really didn't instill a lot of confidence in me or the other people that were there. I said, hold that thought, just wait a minute. And I stepped around the corner, and there's a technique where you can literally, you touch your heart like this. And when you touch your heart, your awareness will always go to the place where you feel the touch. So when you call your attention into your heart center in this way, and you slow your breathing, just a few breaths slower than usual. When you slow your breathing, it tells your body that you are safe. You're in a place that's safe. And when you're safe, when you feel safe, it's a switch. It's like an emotional trigger that frees the rejuvenating and the healing chemistry in the body, because the stress and survival chemistry is not needed if you feel safe. So when you slow your breathing and focus in your heart, that is the doorway, and shamans will do this all the time. Monks, nuns, you see them do this all the time, to that heart intelligence. And I asked my heart, my heart, is this a safe flight for me to take? Because my head, if you ask your head, this is so interesting scientifically, because the brain's a polarity organ, left and right brain. And there's always going to be a right and a wrong, good and a bad, success, failure. And if you ask your brain a question under pressure, your brain will go through the logic and the ego loops that will keep you from making the answer. When you ask your heart, the heart's not a polarity organ. So you consciously free yourself from those loops into what is called heart intelligence. And generally your heart will answer. Your heart knows you very well. It's been with you a long time. Your heart will answer before you even finish the question.
certified outcome coach on the Morning Gratitude Modern Spiritual Podcast.
Let's begin by taking a deep breath in, holding the breath for a moment, and then exhale, allowing your body to relax on the out-breath. With each breath that you take, allow your body to relax and allow your thoughts to slow down. Become aware of any tension in your body. As you breathe in, breathe into that area and allow the muscles to relax on the out-breath. Breathing in again, holding it for a couple of seconds, and then exhale, allowing your mind and body to relax. With each breath that you take, your body is becoming more relaxed and your mind is becoming still and focused. Visualize yourself now in a tropical wilderness. It is quite warm and humid. You are walking along a path and you are surrounded by dense bushland of ferns and trees. You tune into the sounds of nature. You hear tropical birds singing in the trees. Their melody puts you into a state of joy and peace. The sunlight filters down through the trees and warms your skin. The path that you are walking on gradually begins to wind up and ascend the mountaintop. Apart from the birds, you are completely alone and at one with nature and everything around you. You feel entirely safe and relaxed. As you continue to ascend the path up the mountain, you realize this is a special journey you are undertaking. This is the journey to meet and connect with your animal guide. You reach the top of the mountain and you turn around to admire the view below you. It is a beautiful sight. In the distance, you hear a rustling in the bushes. Very slowly, your animal guide emerges and reveals himself, stepping out of the bushes and onto the path. Your animal guide is completely relaxed and happy to see you. It has a special message to give you. You observe the animal's body language. As you approach the animal, you may receive a message telepathically or symbolically. Allow your mind to be still and open to receive any guidance from the animal. You may wish to ask your animal guide a question, perhaps something that has been on your mind. You may receive information that is symbolic, a bit like a dream, or you may see pictures or words appear in your mind. Thank your animal guide for any guidance or messages you have just received. Your animal guide turns around and slowly walks away back into the bushes from where it came. You wave goodbye and turn around and begin walking back down the mountain. You feel pleased having made this connection with your animal guide and for the guidance you have just received. Know that each time you practice this meditation, you may receive new insight from your animal guide. It is now time to very gently leave this meditation. When you are ready, bring your awareness back to the room. You can give your legs a stretch, your fingers a wiggle. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes, coming back to waking consciousness.
The spirit within you, right here on the Modern Spiritual Podcast with me, Alchemy Coach Cchip. This is the end of this episode of number 74. We'll be back on Friday morning at 6 a.m. Arizona time with another morning gratitude. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you do and you retweet our pinned promotion about our show, we'll mention it on the air on this podcast here, and it'll be stuck on archives as well. Like this Coffee Trip 42, coffeetrip42.com. They follow us this morning on Twitter. We're mentioning them. We're looking at their coffee products. We've made by some of their products because I'm ready to go get me another cup of coffee. I wish they had coconut coffee because that's what I like to get into, and with some of the ginger and honey. That's got a really good taste to it. So wherever in the world you may be, have a good day and a great night. I'll see you on the next episode, and we'll follow up on another meditation and some great important things about the heart and how does the heart become so powerful and why to rely on the heart, not just the mind. And let's get into the last of this episode here. I'm going to leave it with you on the chakra chants, Wings of the Heart, on the Modern Spiritual Podcast.